Everybody needs to.
It's Monday morning in my luxury penthouse flat. The fragrant Mrs. Tribbley is helping me to relax the man's way, having just finished this week's Loose Ends and Look at Life, as it's so wittily billed in the radiotomies. Things are reaching a denouement on Neighbours.
Friends, everybody needs to neighbours.
Hey, anyone want some bad acting?
Who wants some more crappy dialogue
Bad
there,
acting?
Eileen?
Yeah, I'll have some crappy dialogue. Yeah, and Eileen.
All right,
and
then.
those
All right.
It's no use whining. I'm going to remove your lip.
You may recall I revealed last week that my hooer of a whippet was carrying the love child of the well-known celebrity hostage, Demis Roussos. And so at precisely 1:35 a.m. last Monday, my whippet was delivered of a beautiful dancing 18-stone singing stomach. Nothing else apart from a tail. It was a quiet birth, really. Just me, the fragrant Mrs. Tribbley, the whippet, 13 cameramen from the 999 program, Michael Aspel, Roger Cook, the Child Watch team, the crew of Your Life in Their Hands, and a 250,000 people. The phone goes.
Hello. Oh, it's Mr. Gardhouse. Oh, going on holiday, eh? Where to? Oh, Athens. Oh, you want to wrap up warm if you're going there. You pack your Daymart underwear. Would I produce the program? Oh, it would be a pleasure. It would be a privilege. It would be an honor. I couldn't do it nearly as well as you could. Oh, bye. Rat.
I called together the production team for a pre-program briefing.
Mrs. Tribbley, would you please leave the breastfeeding to the whippet? It's quite capable. Okay, team, we're going south. We're producing Loose Ends. It's the big one. I've got the audience profile in front of me here. It says, young, trendy, yuppie, Filofax, upwardly mobile. Sorry, that's Baker's dozen. No, we seem to be stuck with a fat, stupid, lazy, middle-aged, vacuous deadheads who think they're young and modern. Never mind. Anyway, the brief is, think fashion. Okay, team, let's hit the M1. We climb aboard my smart Bonneville 1000 motorcycle with sidecar and kiddie stabilizer wheels at the back so I don't fall over and graze my knees. My whippet dressed as Biggles and the fragrant Mrs. Tribbley's hair blowing freely in the wind. I confiscate the hair and put it back in the hutch with its leveret and break into my John F. Kennedy impersonation for those of you who missed it last week.
I should say now, Ich bin Crosby, eine Irving Berliner. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Bombing down the M1, we suddenly stopped to witness some strange sights in the central reservation. A clown performing headstands, a pantomime horse on a skateboard, and a jester hitting a comic bearded nun with a bladder stick. I read about this in News of the World last week. It's another sickening case of motorway madness. We arrive at Broadcasting House.
Be careful where you tread. Be careful where you tread. Mr. Gardhouse doesn't have much control over his bowels.
The discarded tubes of glue and empty bottles of Merry-Down cider tell us we've located the Loose Ends office.
Gin, tonic.
The office, as always, is deserted except for the bottles and for a secretary on a life support system. Why the life support system? Let me explain in libertarian terms. In the BBC, secretaries deal with the day-to-day routine matters of program making. They type the scripts, book the studios, make the copy, write the scripts, decide on the theme of the program, book the guests, arrange taxes, make major editorial decisions, and generally produce the program. That leaves the producer free for the important work, such as several free boozy lunches a day with sycophantic book publishers who think the program's simply super and desperately want to plug their latest novelist, Brian Tedious, who's a simply wonderful talker, really is. Trust me, darling, he'll go up like a rock. Back in the office, the whippet and the stomach are listening to this week's report from Carol Thatcher, who is sitting on the back of a cow, is eating broken glass because it seemed like a good idea in the pub last night. Meanwhile, chief editor, the fragrant Mrs. Tribbley, is listening through to my magnum opus.
It's good this week, Mrs. Tribbley. Listen to this.
Trying to be a smart ass, talking too quickly. Silly rude jokes failed to start the week, producer slumming it. Insults everybody, jumped up at like, but listen carefully to the accent, not posh really, because I was born in Ilford. Bleep.
The fragrant Mrs. Tribbley has noticed that I used the vulgar word bleep. As editor, she must refer up. Let me explain in Kafkaesque terms. The BBC handbook translates the term refer up as cover your arse. My casual reference to the word bleep is deemed to be dangerous. Bureaucrats hate danger and pass the buck upwards. So fragrant Mrs. T immediately gets on to the hotline of Radio 4's head of filth.
Right, yes, thank you very much, Mrs. Tribbley. I think I'd better refer up.
Who in turn phones managing director Smut.
Yes, Smut here. I think I'd better refer up on this one.
Who in turn phones the deputy governor of Toilet's own words. After 2 months, I receive a memo direct from number one. Yes, Margaret Howard, saying the word bleep must be bleeped. I briefed the team.
Okay, team, the secretary says the theme this week is mascara. Okay, have you got that mascara? It's fashion, it's hip, it's kinchy, it's modern, and just to keep old Ned sweet, would one of you book some old tart who once met Stephen Sondheim? We have to do it every week.
My day's work done, I prepare to leave the office.
Okay, well, look, I'm going to go now, so remember, I'm a presenter, you're producers, so as I go, be smarmy, say I'm even funnier off-air than on, laugh at my jokes, and when I slam the door, say what a complete prat I am, and say you won't be booking that talentless creep next week. Okay, because I'm a presenter, you're producers. Stop that. Bye.
It's 10:05 Saturday morning, and I switch on the radio.
Good morning.
Unfortunately, I forgot that my whippet is orally dyslexic, and mistook the theme, mascara, for the word massacre, and has booked Pol Pot, Emperor Bokassa, President Zia, General Armin, and Charlemagne the Great, who are all plugging their books in an orgy of bloodletting. Worse still, he has failed to clear the use of napalm with the BBC fire officers. And just as Pol Pot eviscerates Ned for mentioning Stephen Sondheim for the 60th time, suddenly... This is Channel 4. Well, we seem to have a couple of minutes in hand before the midnight news. So there's just time for another amusing little skit on continuity announcers like we had last week. How very original and inventive. I mean, nobody's ever done that before, have they? I mean, Python or every other bloody comedy show in the country. Now we have loose ends having a go. They think they're so bloody clever and modern, big-headed bastards since they got their Sony Award. Who gives a damn? That cocky sod Vincent Lewis Smith, who's not only trying to take over the programme, but nowadays he's got to be at the end of it too. He won't last long. I've seen him come and go. Flavour of the month. Well, let me tell you this. I'm not reading their silly bloody public school scripts about enemas and facial hair. I'm a trained actor, not some jumped-up DJ like that loose-ends Pons filth. They make me mad. I'm a trained thespian. I was in the classic 1950s B-movie Crossroads to Crime. Listen, I've got a cassette of it here, actually.
Hey there. Don't be a fool, Johnny. Put down the gun. No, don't shoot me. Sherrin can't do Cockney like me. I remember what Sir Larry himself said about my part as the jellied eel seller in the very famous B-movie called In and Out of Each Other's Houses. He said, "It's a film, dear boy, I've never seen." Typical Larry. I've got a cassette here of it, actually. Blimey, 'twas me, Governor. I thought you was brine bread. Leave it out. Strike a light. Why?
And I still have that gift for voices. You listen as I disguise myself as a not very good, slightly hungover Radio 4 continuity announcer. Right, here goes. This was told to me by A.J. Eyre. How can you tell one end of a worm from another? And the answer is you put it in a bowl of flour and wait until it farts.